Greetings, welcome everyone, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is the Nine Takes Global Composer Project. My name is Louis Marks. I'm here at the Rope-a-Dope Room, and we've collected a group of people, composers from around the world, brought together by Russ Kaplan to perform a very unusual project. Each composer has created their own tune, they've shared the charts, and then each composer has filmed their own performance of all 9 songs. And for many of the artists, this is the first time that they're hearing it, as well as the first time the world is hearing it. And it's really been fascinating to hear different takes on the same songs, as well as to see people come together during this crazy time here on planet Earth. We are live on Facebook at Rope-a-Dope 99, YouTube as well, Rope-a-Dope 99. We're going to jump into the Zoom room and chat with some of the musicians about their performances. Today's performance is Mr. Ernest Ikwanga, who is currently in Lausanne, Switzerland, and this is one of the most uplifting of all the performances from my experience so far. I want to mention also that if you like what you see and hear and want to support these artists, you can do so at paypal.me/ropeadope. Thank you for joining us, and let's jump in and have a chat. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Just to introduce before we begin, we have in the room Mr. Russ Kaplan in New York, the mastermind, Mr. Alexander Flood in Australia, uh, Aidan Thorne in Wales, Andrea Molinari in Rome, and Sawa Saraka in Tokyo, and our very own Mr. Fabian Brown here in East Philadelphia. It's a pleasure to see you all again, and Russ, since you're able to stay, we're gonna come back to you.
Sure.
I think we really need to get a sense of Ernest's history as we begin here. First of all, Ernest, welcome. And I want to ask, we were introduced and connected through Andrew Finn McGill, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, how are you two connected?
Actually, I met Andrew Finn in Malawi because of another friend in Malawi uh, who plays traditional music. His name is Peter Mawanga.
Hmm.
So I met him through this guy, and we tried actually many times to meet up and play, but we couldn't manage to meet and play together because I was busy with other projects, other musical projects, and he was also busy with other music projects. So we couldn't actually meet and sit down and play. But we met during the concerts, and yeah, when I went to visit Peter, my friend, yeah.
So that's
Sure.
fascinating to me because, if people don't know, Andrew Finn McGill, aka Finn, is from Asheville, North Carolina, and his parents are traditional Irish musicians, uh, fiddlers, and he grew up in that environment, but then moved on to play music from other cultures, specifically Brazil, to start, and has traveled the world with a very unique interpretation of sort of Irish flavored jazz, I would say. Um, so, Ernest, are you from Malawi?
I'm originally from Malawi, yes, and I've just arrived in Switzerland. I have now 2 years in Switzerland, but I'm fresh from Malawi. I'm Malawian.
So, what was your musical background? How did you arrive at music and jazz, if you will?
Uh, I personally I started playing music when I was very young. when my mom introduced me to music, she bought me a small guitar. And since then, I've been playing music almost every day. And I grew up playing music with friends in my neighborhood. I never go to school to learn music, but like enough, I learned through cassettes and listen to the radios and meeting different musicians on the streets and learn a few things, something like that. And I think
Beautiful.
I got it. I got it well, and I can play with different musicians. It's
Can
that's all we need, you know. Anyway,
There you go. There you go. Can you give me three of your top musical influences?
actually, yes, there are many actually, but as
I
you've
know it's hard.
said, three.
Five.
Uh, yeah, back then, I used to play some songs from one of the great musicians from my local village, uh, like like I would just mention like Alan Namoko, Wambali Mkandawile, and also Eric Parian. Eric Parian is one of the best guitar player in Malawi, and that he played with great musicians like Hugh Masekela. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've been following this guy and since when I was young.
Beautiful. Beautiful. With
But
that, go ahead.
when I was growing up, and I've also discovered great musicians from across the world, like George Benson, of course, uh, Etienne Mbappe, Richard Bona, Pat Metheny, all those great musicians. I like their music. I like their art.
Beautiful. I will turn the microphone over to Mr. Fabian Brown. I'm sure you have a question or two uh, for Mr. Ikwanga, and then I'd like to hear some comments from the rest of the composers. Mr.
Thank-
Fabian Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
thanks, Lewis, and good morning, everyone, and good afternoon and evening. Ernest, I've been asking throughout the week, different interpretations and impressions on when Russell had came to you with this idea. What was going through your mind when he approached you on what I'm going to call a crazy idea? Um,
Again,
I'm going to call it crazy, but the result is so amazing. But what was your first, what was your first thoughts, your first impressions when Russell approached you with this project?
I personally, in the first place, actually, it was difficult to make a decision because uh, uh, being in a moment that we are all like struggling with the COVID, uh, uh, on the side that it, me actually I live just next to to a road here, so every day I could hear like ambulances, the bus ambulances passing like with people rushing to the hospital,
Wow.
and also like watching the news every day and seeing a lot of people struggling with the COVID, like around the world, like from China, Italy, and France, here in Switzerland, and now it's just starting in Africa. And when he approached me, and I was like, how am I going to be able to work on a project, a musical project like this one, when there are many things happening? So in the first place, I was very sad, and I actually took some few days before I wrote to him actually to say that I'm able to do it. Then I got courage that I think we musicians were there to to help the nation, also to bring joy to the people. So I said, I think I can do this. Uh, it's when I wrote back. I wrote to Russ and say I'm in for this project.
Wow, it sounds like you found in the madness, you found some inspiration that motivated you to commit to this. That's beautiful. Maybe talk a little bit about the recording process for you. What did the process entail? Who did you include? Talk a little bit about that for us.
In the recording process, actually, I sat down alone and I recorded like the demos, and so I had the songs ready. Then I called my bass player, my friend, to ask him if he's willing to work with me on this project, if we could do it live. Of course, it was difficult with the COVID, but it was good for us, because in Switzerland it's more, the government put like the proper measures. So actually we didn't struggle a lot. We could go out and we could go and jam inside, but not like outside. So I asked these guys, and he was willing, and he helped me to bring my band together, and so that we could do it. So after, when I did my demos and I made them listen, and then they just played what I did already in my small room. But they also added other things, as musicians. So they can't just play exactly what I did, but they also add great stuff to the project. For us, actually, it was tight, because I don't have like a recording room that I could record with a band. So we struggled to find a space, this kind of thing. But luckily enough, one of my friends, he gave us a space so we could go and record. So and it took us actually like 3 days of recording, which was very, very tight for us. But we managed to do everything. And
I think that's amazing. And maybe just one last question before we go to the music. And this one's for the fans, right? What is something that you want, the fans to take away from your interpretation of all these beautiful compositions? What's something that you want the fans to walk away from and with?
Actually, what I can say is that people should actually appreciate, the art that we've been working. It's not just only me. It's the whole team right here, like from Russ to Aidan, Sawa, Lisa, Alexander, who put the energy in writing beautiful songs. And we've spent a lot of time to work on this during the COVID. It's a good project. They have to support it, and they have to see the positive part of it to the people, to everyone. So they have to receive this project. That's what I can say.
Wonderful and beautiful. Louis, back to you.
Yeah. So before we queue up the video, I just want to ask the other composers in the room, if you'd like to make a comment now, please let me know. If not, we'll queue it up and we'll come back for discussion right after. All right. It's unanimous then. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Global Composers Project, Take 5, Ernest Ikwanga. Here we go.
My name is Ernest Ikwanga. I'll be performing with my band, Bastian, my friend on bass, Gary on Rhodes and piano, and Nick on drums. So don't go away, stay there. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
As your life is complete, you never want them leave you. As your life is complete, beautiful people, beautiful souls, beautiful people, beautiful souls. Beautiful people, we see them through their eyes, when they around you, you feel with joy, you never want them leave you. As your life is complete, you never want them walk away. As it feels good, beautiful people, beautiful soul, beautiful people, beautiful soul.
Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ernest Ikwanga. See you soon. God bless you.
All right. That was truly, truly wonderful. We are back with the co-creators of 9 Takes. I just can't help but think that we are all going to look back on this as historic. It's truly, truly amazing what you all have done. Ernest Ikwanga, that groove, man. Bass player keeps up.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And your song, Beautiful People, Beautiful Soul, just really is uplifting at this time. We have to hold on to these positive vibrations and feelings and energy. I'm certain that that's what will carry us all through. I'd love to hear from other composers now that you've seen what Ernest and band have done with your music. Mr. Kaplan, this was your crazy idea. You can start.
Keep using that word.
Everybody has, but
It's
crazy,
it's fine.
crazy.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's very normal. Man, what do you even say? God, it's. I guess we've all been saying a little bit like when we hear these different interpretations, like it's almost like it's not my tune anymore. But the weird thing is, it still is. Like it is and it isn't. No, and it's sort of like it's like those mornings when you wake up and look in the mirror and you're like, that's not me. I don't look like that, or hear your own voice recorded. It's you, it, but it's something different, and I just loved that version of all the songs, but mine especially. It's like this, especially knowing that as a performer, I have a tendency to like ruminate. Like that's my I have kind of a meditative playing style, and I guess that reflects how I just kind of am. And to hear the same tune played with such a shot of joy running throughout it, and to like see that other side of it. And to feel like it's a natural way to play that song that I wrote, like it's meant to be played that way, just as much as how I would have played it. So, yeah, just loved it.
Let me ask a naive question here. This doesn't really ever happen, does it? That someone will compose and the first time that, and then hand it off to another musician.
Not no, not a lot. Certainly not now. I have a feeling like there was a point in time, like 50 years ago, where that was a little more common, where there was more like tune swapping amongst musicians, or just like hearing other people's tunes and being, I want to play that, and then you do. I think people are a little more self-contained now as far as writing and performing their own material.
But even so Ernest did not hear your.
Oh, that element. No, that's true. Yeah, it was all off the paper.
He just read it off the paper, and this is what he came up. It's fascinating to me. I'd love to see more and more people do this.
I think it worked out all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel as musicians to like, put something down on paper? I mean, you have to actually play it out, right, before you write it, or as you write it.
You got to test it. It's it's a little hard to tell for me. Like I guess I can make it as like clear and airtight on the page as possible. And then I kind of just had to decide actually, what do I think is really important that other players, get right, and maybe I want to leave them a little freedom. Like when I wrote mine, mine actually started with a very specific bass line before I even wrote the melody or the chords. I had a bass line in my head and a groove, and I started with that, and then kind of wrote the whole song around it. And then before I sent the chart out to everybody, I pulled the bass line out didn't include that because I had a feeling that if I'd included it, the rhythm in it was so specific that would kind of dictate a little too much to everybody. And I wanted to leave them a little breathing room. So I left the melody and the chords, but then I pulled out the thing that had started it all. Which I now know, having seen all of these, was definitely the right thing to do. Yeah, I guess you just sort of play it. You try and imagine that you're reading it for the first time, even though you wrote it, and like, what would this be like to sight read for somebody else, and then just hope for the best.
It's like a next level of collaboration and co-creation. It's stunning. Aiden, you had a comment in the middle. I would love to hear your thoughts on Ernest's work here.
Oh, it was amazing to hear you play number one, Ernest, and hear all the music again in a completely different way, in a really joyful way. I haven't really listened to any live streams of bands played outside of the Rope-a-Dope Festival, which was more sort of solos, if I remember correctly. It's all gone now. It's only this for the moment. So it was extra special to hear it, and I just felt such hope that I will be able to actually get to play with the guys that I normally play with again soon. So I just had a real positive vibe from it, and that was probably just enhanced by the positive vibe you give off in your recording of you talking, and also in just your general person, and definitely in your choice of amazing trousers.
Mm-hmm. Andrea?
Yeah, wow.
From a guitarist
Ernest,
to a guitarist, yeah.
Yeah. Congrats, Ernest. It's really an amazing performance. Super sound, super feeling, all the arrangement. You play incredible, man. And also all your band. I really enjoy this take, and also your intro over my tune, guitar
Thank
intro,
you very much.
solo guitar. Really, really beautiful. So really a great job, Ernest. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Ernest,
you very much.
Ernest, can you shout out the band? Can you tell us who we saw performing?
Yeah, actually, I played with my friend on bass, Bastian, and on drums, Nicolas, and on the piano and Rhodes, we had Gary.
Okay.
The great musicians. Right?
Wonderful.
I enjoy playing with them.
Lisa Marie.
Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Finally, it's me. I have so much to say. First of all, Russell, I loved what you said about the analogy that you made about listening to other people playing our tunes, and how it's like looking in a mirror and you just don't recognize yourself or hearing your own voice. That's beautiful. It's perfect. It's exactly right. Ernest, I love you. I love you. I love you. I think that your performance was so expressive. And I heard all the styles that you were talking about as far as your influences. Like on our track, I heard that Pat Metheny, and I heard Gypsy in there, and I just Benson. I heard some Benson, like all those influences I definitely heard in your playing. It was so great, so joyful. I also really have to talk about the generosity that you showed with the musicians that you played with. You were so generous in allowing everyone space to express themselves, and that was also gorgeous to see. It was really the word that everyone is tossing around right now is joyful, but that's what it was. It was magnificent. I just enjoyed that so much. It was beautiful. Okay, I'm done.
There you go. I want to quickly remind everybody as we come to the end here that we broadcast 9 Takes. We are on day 5, so there are 3 more to happen next week, starting Monday at 9 o'clock. The 9th performance is delayed. We all miss our dear friend Padraig Rinn, and we will announce a date for that airing sometime in the future. Also want to point out that at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight, UTC -4, we rebroadcast as an encore performance for those of you who are in a time zone that can't make the 9 a.m. East Coast slot. Also want to remind people that paypal.me/ropeadope is a place where you can contribute to these artists and this wonderful work. I sent a message through. I see Yasushi is on the line. I'm not sure if you want to comment on Ernest's performance. Not even sure. Can he hear me? There you go.
I'm impressed, and I like your chord progression is so cool and sophisticated music, and I feel freshness and vitality, and rhythm is very tight. So good music. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, as we wrap up day 5, Mr. Brown, do you have any further comments, or we'll just leave the mic open for anybody who wants to chime in here?
I just want to express my gratitude for just being involved and hearing just amazing composition after composition, day after day. I want to be grateful for all the fans that were tuning in and just listening to the performances throughout the week, and everyone who can catch it live, of course, and catch the replay, and then all of you wonderful people in the room just to hang out and to hear your beautiful voices and your positivity is just amazing. And even the levity and sense of humor, going back to a little joke that Aiden made with the trousers. I really did appreciate all that. Just good times, guys. Good times.
Louis, if I could throw out one thing about Monday for anybody planning to tune in then. That's Eric Deutsch's performance, which I'm really looking forward to. The Zoom Fest is actually on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. That's happening in the second broadcast that day.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Usually we Zoom in the morning, and then there's it's music only in the afternoon on United States time, and that's reversed on Monday. Eric and some of us will be there at the 5 o'clock time that day.
Right. So yeah. So summing up. So I did say 9 o'clock every morning. So on Monday we will switch it up to accommodate for Mexico City time and musician time. Which by the way, thank you for those of you that are or for, well, it's just you, Russ, I guess, and Mr. Brown. Thanks for being like present at 8:30 in the morning. Much appreciated. So yes, on Monday, the regular program will air at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight, which would be 4 p.m. Mexico City time. So we'll post that on social and let people know. This is like a trip to the amusement park for the first time when you're a kid. Like I was excited, but I really didn't know fully what to expect. And now I'm halfway through, and I'm like, I just know that I'm still, there are more rides to come, and I won't be able to fully take in the scope of the entire thing until after it's over, and I look back on how amazing it was and is. So I'm just, half the time here I'm at a loss for words on how to define this thing, and that's great. That's the best part of it. It's like I have no definition. So I want to thank you all. Russ Kaplan and Sawa Saraka, Andrea Molinari, Lisa Simmons, Aidan Thorne, and Ernest Ikwanga, and Alexander Flood we had there for a while, but it looks like it's late in Australia. But Ernest Ikwanga, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Want to remind people again, we'll be back on at 5 p.m. and you can watch this performance again. And please donate if you can, paypal.me/ropeadope. And these are crazy times, everybody out there. These artists are doing their best to put positive energy and keep busy and put that out into the world. And we hope that you can do the same. And, stay healthy, stay safe, stay loud, and we'll see you tomorrow or tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so.
Thank you.
Thank you.